Every morning, you wake up with a tank of mental energy. Think of it like a battery that fuels your ability to think, decide, and act. But here's the catch. Every single choice you make, what to wear, what to eat, whether to check that notification, slowly drains that battery. Most of us don't notice it because the drain is silent, invisible. Yet by the time you hit the afternoon slump, your brain is already tired, not because of lack of sleep, but because of something psychologists call decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is the hidden enemy of productivity, discipline, and even happiness. The reason you scroll endlessly instead of working, or grab junk food instead of cooking, often isn't laziness. It's that your willpower has been quietly eroded by too many choices throughout the day. The research is clear. Judges give harsher sentences when they're tired of deciding. Shoppers spend more money when their brains are exhausted. Even CEOs wear the same outfit daily, not because they lack style, but because they understand that every decision costs energy. Here's the first micro-challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, notice how many tiny, unnecessary choices you make before 9 a.m. Do you open your phone immediately and scroll through dozens of notifications? Do you debate over what to wear, or stare into the fridge wondering what to eat? Each of these moments is a withdrawal from your mental energy account. The more you spend early on things that don't matter, the less you'll have for the decisions that truly shape your future. The truth is, decision fatigue doesn't strike all at once. It sneaks in slowly, like a leak in your energy tank. You don't notice it, until suddenly you feel drained, unmotivated, and vulnerable to poor choices. The good news is, once you become aware of this invisible enemy, you can start designing your life to protect your energy. And that brings us to the next question. Why does the brain actually get tired of making decisions? To answer that, we need to dig into the psychology and science behind mental exhaustion. Imagine your brain as a muscle. Just like lifting weights repeatedly makes your arms sore, making decisions over and over wears out your mental strength. At first, you might feel fine, energized even. But as the day progresses, the weight of each choice piles up until your brain simply says, enough. Psychologists Roy Baumeister and John Tierney, in their work on willpower, explained that our ability to make decisions relies heavily on something called ego depletion. In simple terms, every time you exercise self-control or make a choice, you're dipping into the same limited pool of mental energy. Once that pool runs low, you start making sloppy decisions, avoiding tasks altogether, or defaulting to the easiest, most convenient option, even if it's not the best one. Here's a striking example. Researchers studied parole hearings in prison. They found that judges were more likely to grant parole early in the morning or right after a meal break. But as their decision-making sessions dragged on, the chances of approval plummeted to almost zero. The same judge, with the same prisoner profile, gave drastically different rulings, not because of new evidence, but simply because of decision fatigue. Now, here's where psychology gives us a powerful insight. Your brain craves shortcuts when it's tired. This is why, after a long stressful day, you might binge on fast food, scroll TikTok for hours, or buy things you don't need online. Your brain isn't failing you. It's just seeking the path of least resistance. Unfortunately, those shortcuts often sabotage long-term goals. So here's a micro-challenge. Think about the last time you made a decision you regretted at night. Maybe overeating, procrastinating, or saying yes to something you didn't want to do. Was it truly a lack of discipline? Or was it simply decision fatigue at work? The next time you face an important choice, try scheduling it earlier in the day, when your mental battery is fuller. You'll notice the difference almost immediately. And this leads us to the next critical point. It's not just about the science of why our brains get tired. It's about recognizing how decision fatigue shows up in your everyday life. If you can spot the warning signs early, you can catch yourself before your willpower runs out. Picture this. You start the day motivated, determined to eat clean, stay focused, and finish that project. But by evening, you're on the couch with a bag of chips, scrolling endlessly, wondering, what happened to my discipline? That's not a lack of willpower. It's decision fatigue quietly sabotaging your success. Decision fatigue creeps in like a silent thief. Instead of making thoughtful choices, you begin defaulting to habits, impulses, or whatever feels easiest in the moment. That's why so many of us stick to the same restaurants, binge the same shows, or fall into routines we don't even like. Our brains choose the path of least resistance, not the path of growth. Here's how it plays out in real life. At work, you might delay responding to important emails because choosing the right words feels overwhelming. With health, you might skip the gym because deciding how to exercise feels like too much effort. With money, you might overspend because choosing carefully feels exhausting after a long day. Over time, these small slips add up, and suddenly you're not living intentionally, you're just reacting. The scary part? Decision fatigue doesn't just affect small things, it can alter life-changing choices. Entrepreneurs, leaders, even parents make worse decisions at the end of a long day, not because they lack intelligence, but because their mental energy is depleted. That's why so many successful people rely on systems, routines, and even uniforms. Think of Steve Jobs' black turtleneck or Mark Zuckerberg's gray t-shirts. By reducing trivial decisions, they protect their focus for the ones that truly matter. Here's your micro-challenge. Identify one area of your life where decision fatigue keeps tripping you up. Is it food, fitness, work, or relationships? Write it down. Then ask yourself, how can I remove or automate some of those daily choices? For example, meal prepping once a week removes dozens of "what should I eat" decisions. Creating a workout schedule in advance eliminates the "should I go today" debate. Small systems protect your energy for bigger goals. Because here's the truth. Success isn't about having unlimited willpower. It's about protecting the limited willpower you already have. And the way to do that is by building strategies that outsmart your brain. Which brings us to the next step. What practical hacks can we use to preserve mental energy and stay sharp, even when life demands 1,000 choices a day? If decision fatigue drains your energy, the smartest move isn't to fight harder. It's to design your life so you make fewer, better decisions. Think of it as decluttering your mental space. Just like you'd organize a messy room so you don't waste time searching for things, you can organize your day to protect your willpower. One of the simplest hacks is automation. Automate as many small decisions as possible. Lay out your clothes the night before. Eat the same breakfast on weekdays. Set up automatic bill payments. Create a morning routine that doesn't change. Each of these may sound small, but together, they free up enormous mental energy you can use on the choices that truly matter. Another powerful tactic is batching decisions. Instead of deciding every day what to eat, plan your meals once a week. Instead of deciding daily when to work out, schedule workouts on the same days and times. By grouping choices into a single session, you reduce the constant drain of daily micro-decisions. Next, let's talk about rules and defaults. Rules are decisions you only make once. For example, I don't check my phone before 10 a.m. or I only buy black socks. Defaults are pre-decisions, like keeping healthy snacks in sight so you don't have to debate whether to grab chips or fruit. Both strategies act as mental shortcuts, protecting your brain from fatigue. Here's a micro-challenge. Tonight, pick one decision you can eliminate from tomorrow. Maybe it's preparing your lunch in advance. Maybe it's writing a to-do list before bed so you don't wake up guessing what to do first. Try it just once, and notice how much lighter your morning feels. That small shift will show you how powerful reducing choices can be. Finally, don't underestimate the role of rest and renewal. Your brain resets when you sleep, eat, or even take short breaks. Just as muscles recover after a workout, your decision-making strength recovers with downtime. If you want sharper focus in the evening, schedule a 10-minute walk or a power nap in the afternoon. It's not laziness, it's maintenance. By applying these hacks, you'll notice that life starts to feel less chaotic, less overwhelming. You're no longer being drained by 1,000 trivial choices. You're conserving energy for the decisions that move your life forward. And that takes us to the final step. How do we not only preserve mental energy, but build a lifestyle where fewer, better choices lead to lasting freedom? At first, the idea of limiting choices might sound restrictive. But here's the paradox. The fewer decisions you waste energy on, the more freedom you actually gain. Think of it like clearing clutter from your room. You're not losing options, you're gaining space to breathe, move, and focus on what matters most. This is where discipline transforms into freedom. By creating routines, systems, and rules for yourself, you free your mind from trivial choices. You no longer wake up wondering what to do, what to eat, or whether you'll exercise. You already decided once, and now you simply follow through. That's why so many successful people rely on structure. They're not rigid, they're liberated. Their minds are uncluttered, ready for creativity, problem-solving, and meaningful decisions. The beauty of this mindset is that it doesn't just protect you from bad choices. It helps you align your daily actions with your deeper values. When you're not exhausted from deciding what shirt to wear, you have more energy to decide what kind of person you want to be, what goals to pursue, and how to respond in moments that really define you. Here's your final micro-challenge. Choose one system you can install in your life this week. It could be meal prepping every Sunday, creating a strict bedtime routine, or scheduling no phone hours. Commit to it for 7 days. Notice how much lighter, sharper, and more intentional you feel when you don't waste energy on avoidable decisions. This is how discipline slowly transforms into power, and power into freedom. Remember, decision fatigue isn't a personal weakness. It's a universal human limitation, but those who understand it gain an edge. While others waste energy on small choices, you'll be investing yours in the decisions that shape your future. So the next time you feel drained, distracted, or unmotivated, pause and ask yourself, am I really lazy, or is my brain simply tired of deciding? That awareness alone can shift everything. And now, I'd like to hear from you. Which area of your life do you think decision fatigue is hitting hardest right now? Health, work, or relationships? Drop your answer in the comments, because your insight might help someone else recognize their own struggle. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to hit subscribe and share it with someone who's always too tired to decide. Together, let's build a life with fewer, better choices, and more energy for the things that truly matter.